They say odds were never in our favor. From girlhood to womanhood, the struggle is real. We were taught to navigate a system that wasn't built with us in mind. But what if we stop trying to fit in
Okay.
and we choose to rise against all odds? Welcome to the Speak With Our podcast. My name is Olaoshibiko. You can call me Naira the Talker, and I am excited to be the host on today's episode titled Against All Odds. Joining me are my amazing co-hosts.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Onaemi Oluwafe. It's nice to be here.
Good afternoon. My name is Elizabeth Makita. It's a pleasure to have you on this podcast. Thank you so much for being here.
It's nice to have you people around. I really do appreciate your presence here. And in the studio today, we have a true trailblazer, a LinkedIn top expert, from the art of Nigeria to becoming a global authority in personal branding. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming the powerhouse behind DoTrybe, Odekunle.
Thank you very much for the introduction. And thank you for having me.
Okay, thanks for being here. We really do appreciate. So before diving into the conversation, as I said earlier, that this today's episode is titled Against All Odds. And I know that we have some people here who don't know you, that did not know that you are a LinkedIn top expert. Can you introduce yourself?
Much. My name is Odekunle and I'm a social media strategist. So basically, I help executives, CEOs, founders to manage their online presence on LinkedIn and beyond as well. That's what I do.
Thank you for that introduction. For those that are just knowing Doyin, definitely, she's that expert you will call for work that will do the best of the best for it. So that's that about that. Because since I've joined LinkedIn, this is not a story time, but I know that she's very, very good. She's very, very good. I do appreciate her consistency, her resilience on LinkedIn. In fact, sometimes I'll be like, how is this girl doing this? But there was one thing that actually captivates me, and it's one of her content recently where she shared she actually finished primary school at age 11, secondary school at 17, diploma at 22, marriage at 23, first child 24, second child 26, BSc 29, NYSC 31. I was like, wow, how are you doing it? How did you do it? How did this all happen? Because we know that once a girl is married, once you heard of in a marriage, they lose their interest in career. They don't even know if they'll be able to move on or continue, because you will be like, oh, my whole responsibility now is on my child. I'm not saying the responsibility shouldn't be on your child, but due to I'm seeing it as an early marriage from my perspective. But let me ask you, can we say that you didn't go through any odds at this stage of this period, all this period I just mentioned? You did not go through any odds. Can you please share with us how your story of triumph actually happened?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. So it's not always easy. Like I said, that on social media, and sometimes you just come to say the finish. You just come to share the finished product. You don't always come to tell people this is how it is, and even if you do, it's not. You can't share it in a way that everybody would comprehend. So for me, honestly, I didn't plan to get married at 23. I was even planning that, okay, I want to get married at 30 when I finish my distance. But something was clear for me, to me. I've always known the kind of life I want for myself. since I was a child, since I was growing up. I had a not so pleasant background while I was growing up. I didn't live with my mom. I got to meet my mom when I was 18. I lived with my daddy's elder sister that maltreated me for like 10 years before I started living with my dad. So, when I was living with my daddy's elder sister, there's this thing that they would say about the abuse person and the person being abused under the authority. So they should always tell me that, oh, if you go and live with your dad, nobody's going to take care of you. You're just going to get pregnant. Your life is just going to waste away. So I was always scared. And when we were in secondary school, I had some of my mates. I remember our chapel prefect got pregnant, and I was wondering, how could a chapel prefect, like, this is the person that leads us in. I went to a Christian school, so she leads us she leads us in praise and worship every day. And then I remember I used to follow my friends to what's it called then. I used to see her in fellowship. So how come? So it bothered me, you know. So when I started living with my dad and I got to school, I already knew that I didn't want that kind of life. And my mom would always say something that when marriage comes, you go for it. Because if you don't go for it, it will get to a stage and they will not start taking you. These are my mom will say, oh, malama for you, I'm a bad body, meanwhile, to see the story initially, it's because when men were coming, you were. So when I wanted to get married, I knew what I wanted for myself. And I remember even the year that I got married, I did dental surgery technician. It was 3 years diploma. I wrote JAMB. I wanted to go for dentistry, but as God will have it, I did my JAMB, but I didn't do well with my post JAMB at UI, and then I came to Ekiti. So when I was pregnant with my son, my first child, I tried JAMB again. I did the registration, then I wrote JAMB like few months after I gave birth to him. Then I choose a University of Nigeria, closer to me, the campus that is closer to me. I chose biology education not because I knew that I could not, even though this journey, like you said, there are things that would happen. I had to, because I did dental surgery technician, I wanted to go for dentistry. But because I could not get that course, I was married, I had my child, the course is not here, but I still want to go to school. And I've always loved biology. Oh, but I love biology so much. Even in school, the core biology courses, I used to do well in them. I've got 70 in biology before. I just say, okay, I'll go for biology because I actually love this course. Then I went for biology education. Right. So when during biology education, I got pregnant with my second child, and I remember that was when I got the so when I gave birth to my child, I gave birth to my children through CS. That semester was the non-pleasant semester for me because I could not leave the bed for like one semester. After the CS, I couldn't go to school, but I went to write the exams. I remember one time when we were running for exam and I almost hit my belly on the ground. I had carryover in chemistry when I was pregnant. I went to look for a senior at SMSSN to please come and teach me this chemistry. I was pregnant, I was doing it. So what I'm trying to say is that the journey is not easy, but I was determined from the onset. If you ask my mate that knew me from school, they would tell you that I love school. I just love education. I just love school. I just want to go to school, be educated. When I wanted to get married, I was young. I didn't really have the clear picture of what I wanted. As a child that grew up from a chaos background, I just wanted to grow up. I just wanted a good life for myself. I would always say that I want an easy life for myself, non-complicated life. But when I got that easy life for myself, I started seeing, okay, I want more. But I remember telling my husband then that I want to go to school. Are you going to sponsor my education? I want to go to school. I said it. I listed that list that I listed, I'm glad I did. Because there's nothing like you didn't tell me this before we got married. Even though I still wish I added to that list. I told him the things and the things and the things and the things, and then it was because I was not interested in getting married, and I just wanted him to know I didn't want to compromise anything. In fact, I didn't compromise the kind of man that I wanted. There is this thing that they will tell you then. It's not necessary for you to look at looks. It's just marry a man that fear. I'll just be telling them, yeah, just saying your own. So my husband and I, it was through matchmaking. So a year before my husband, we started talking. A year before we started talking, a sister brought him and he showed me his picture. I said I don't like him because he doesn't have breasts. I like hairy men. I said I don't like this man. He doesn't have breasts. So I now asked her, please show me the pictures of other men that he has. She was like, oh, I'm not serious. Then another year after, because of this big sis of mine, I love her and respect her so much. She was telling me, oh no, I have a brother. The brother is so good. I'm just wondering why this brother has not gotten married. Blah blah blah. A year after, I was not like, excuse me, ma. I hope it's not that brother. He said, oh, it's the brother. I'm like, what's wrong with this brother? Then I now said, me, I don't like the brother because she now said, oh, he has started keeping birds, you know. I said, okay, send me his picture again. So when I saw him again, I said, okay. Then when we met physically was when he wanted to come and see my dad. But because me, I don't compromise on anything. I don't compromise on. I told myself, if I see him and I don't like his look, I'm not going to let him meet my dad. But when I saw him, I saw that okay, I like his look, I like everything about him. Then I took him to meet my dad. Then we got married exactly 4 months when we started talking. It was just like I listed everything that I wanted. I saw the things I wanted. I will now. It was after the marriage that we now started the courtship, right? And as God will have it, I have a very supportive husband. I have supportive, and that's another thing. I have supportive husband. I have supportive in-law. While I was doing my NYC in Ilorin, my mother-in-law is at home with my children. Each time when I was in university, anytime I want to do exam like that, I'll call my mother-in-law. She will travel down. So whenever she travels down and my children are crying, they want to eat, they need to change their diaper or anything, I don't even engage them. I will just tell them, go and meet grandma. Go and meet grandma. Yeah, I'll just focus on reading. So this I'm saying this so that nobody's going to compare my own journey with their journey. We have women who really wants to do it, but they don't have the support. They don't have good support system, right? And so it's going to be almost impossible for them to do it. Even though, and we also have women who would even make this list, but their partners would not fulfill their promises. So this was what helped me. That made it possible for me to push through. The fact that number one, I knew what I wanted, kind of life that I wanted for myself, and I'm passionate about it. And the second thing is because I have good support system. So it's not only marriage that would make people give up on their dream. Is the support system, because honestly you have to compromise on certain things. Some men would intentionally impregnate their women, you know, over and over again. So when you impregnate someone, you know that pregnancy differs in women. I might be able to read in pregnancy and the other person is not going to be able to do that. So if they don't have a supportive partner, supportive family, no one is going to. I remember when I was crying after that, my was it 200 level second semester when I had my daughter. My dad was like, close Oro try, Oro mo gbejo now. Mama sukumo, you know, things like that. When I gave birth to my son, I remember my dad sent me a push gift from Lagos. My dad will send you. When my dad pack things, you would think that is a woman that packed them. So I am very loved at home, and I have supportive family. That's what helped me, because I'm not going to lie, it's not easy. It's not easy.
Thanks so very much for that response. I've actually learned something. Having a big support besides you actually helps a lot. It helps in growth in different perspectives, especially early marriage. Because the way I said earlier, that's the way we do see early marriage outside there. It's actually it's like they've already drowned their career. Their career has already been drowned. So immediately a girl actually is married, you should know that She's not trying to move on with her life anymore. Her life is now based on the marriage. Her life is now solely depending on the marriage. So that was my thoughts then. So I was really surprised with, I was like, second child? Second child? Who does that? You actually did, and well done. And I hope that somebody that is seeing this video, the girl child that is trying to become, and the woman, the imagined woman, especially the ones that are in early marriages, the ones that are, just know that your decision matters to you. Anything you decide on, just push it through and be consistent, because there's no how you wouldn't put in, you did not put in more effort, if you did not have the determination, there's no how you can continue with this. Look at the differences, look at the gaps that you actually left, and you still did it right. Well done, ma.
Hey, that was so profound. Thank you, man. First question is, it is a general knowledge that having knowledge about something is not the same thing as understanding it. A lot of our young girls, they have the knowledge that they can create opportunities on social media. First, they understand that they have to first gain visibility before creating opportunities. But then only few of them, don't let me say few, let's say that, okay, there are a lot of them that don't even understand how they can go about it. So in a bid to create opportunities, they end up, probably because they are confused and they don't know how to go about it, they end up losing themselves for them to create opportunities. So ma, please, how can young girls today, how can they strategically use social media to create opportunities for themselves?
All right, thank you very much for the question. So, when it comes to social media and using it to create opportunities for yourself, the first thing is to understand that people used to say, okay, when I know this, when I know that, when I do this, but you don't need to have everything figured out before you start. You just need clarity on what you want to be known for. So you just girls should ask themselves, like, what do I care about? What do I want people to associate my name with? Once that is clear, your content becomes more intentional.
If you are looking for something that is perfect, no, it is not when it comes to creating content, like for example creating video content like podcast, which I have also been in that journey before. We know how getting tired of videoing content, searching for ideas, searching for content hooks. Do you know that there are some moments that it will be like, okay, maybe it's what is happening to my video? Is it my title? Is it the graphics? Is it the resolution? Stuff like that. You'll be like, oh, it's the content itself. Those are the three things that I do ask myself. Is it the graphics? Is it the title? Or is it the content? I'll be like, what is going on? What do people really want? There was a time I even actually like, okay, for example, I do post my record before going live like this. What I do first is I'll ask my guest speaker to record it themselves, and I will match mine to them as well. So it will be like we are seeing each other and we are conversing together. So whenever I post this video, whenever I upload this video on YouTube, I'll be like, what is happening? I mean, just the highest view I can get. I'm thinking of it now, I'm laughing, but it's actually not very funny because it always saddens my mind. I'll be like, what is going on? And people said they are making it on this social media. So what is that really happening to me? So I might get maybe like 5 views. Yes, it do get bad. So, but what I learned is that the more you are growing, the more you become. The more you get to know yourself, the more you get to know different steps that you can imagine. It is not a day that you say that, okay, I'll make it, I'll perfect everything. It doesn't happen like that. And sometimes you'll be like, there are some people that are doing it a day. It is one day that they did it. Oh, they blow up, buying. Means I want to blow like that. So you will not know that, you don't know all the sacrifices that all those people went through, that all those people go through. I think I've said this on one episode like that, where I said there is one particular video, Tomike video, that I saw online, and the video is still attractive to me, because I was like, okay, I did not know this about that before. But it was one comment that actually lead me to comment section. The comment said, oh, are you here in 2026? I was like, what is happening? Am I here in 2026? So I later found out that the video has been uploaded 5 years ago. Now 5 years ago, they didn't give up. So why will you give up? So if you are in social media aspects, it is not about being perfect or anything. It is not about perfection. It's about the consistency and the resilience you are putting into it. Looking back, we all know that there is one single lesson that you would have learned through your journey as a social media strategist. There are some things that the more you are stepping into it, you've actually seen that, okay, these are the lessons that I learned. So what are those lessons that you learned about consistency and resilience that you said earlier? The lesson that you think you can share to girl children that are coming into this aspect, because we have more that are coming. Everybody wants to be a social media, everybody wants to be a content creator, everybody wants to be online and doing something meaningful. But I want to ask this also, why is it that it is dancing strategy that is the most trending video that always like easily grow? Why is it that it is that content that is always growing? Whenever you come online and you started dancing, it will just blow like that. You started posting the dancing video for like maybe 2 days or 3 days, and that is how it works. Why is that happening?
Yes, thank you very much. Let me start from the dancing videos blowing up. Is the fact that in this world, anything that does not bring values, that does not has value, it's easy for it to blow up, because anybody can create a dancing video and it's going to blow up. And don't forget that this algorithm, the way they pushes it out, it is irrelevant content that distracts leaders, content that distracts. For every social media platform, there is always a reason the founders put the social media, established the social media, or founded the social media platform. And no matter what is changing, no matter the trend that they are trying to keep up with, everything they do is going to resonate, is going to revolve around the value. That is why when it comes to LinkedIn and LinkedIn content, everybody, that's why people say LinkedIn is serious, because initially LinkedIn was it was majorly for job application opportunities and everything. Facebook is a community, catching up with old friends and families and everything. Instagram is about lifestyle. TikTok is a distraction tool. These irrelevant content are pushed down to African countries. Our timeline is different from even the Chinese that founded TikTok. In China, you cannot find anything like dancing videos. It's always education, engineering, AI. These are the things that their their children consume on social media. So because they want to distract us and they want to keep us away from the goal, so yes, they are going to introduce dancing content. And don't forget, like I said earlier, anything that does not have value, it is easier for this thing to go, because when someone is dancing, you are not, what are you learning? You are not learning anything. Are you learning how to shake your bubble or anything? However, when something comes, when it has value to offer, it has less engagement than an actual video. So, and if you're someone who has value, you don't just want to live, you also want to impact, you would stick to your content, because whether you like it or not, if people like Bobrisky can have fun, they can create fan base and make millions from this content, how much more about you that has something valuable to offer? So you need to understand that You need to keep up at it over and over again, and you're actually going to get it. So it's understanding the psychology behind each social media platform. That is what will make you know that the fact that your valuable content are not getting the attention that it needs, you're not getting the views, you're not getting the impression, it is not your fault. It is the society that we are in. The way our society is now designed in the 21st century for us to be distracted. So you asked about looking back, what lesson, what would I say I've learned, and what can I teach young girls? So I would say that you don't always have to have everything figured out. As somebody who struggled with perfectionism and overthinker, oh my goodness, I could sit down and start thinking about the next 10 years, 20 years, how is it, and it makes me panic. It triggers my anxiety. So you don't need to have everything figured out before you start. Start with what you know, start with what you have, and start with where you have. I used to charge social media management 15,000 naira. Then gradually I moved to 25,000. When I wanted to move from 25,000 naira, I moved to 30,000. When I wanted to move from 30,000 naira to 50,000 naira, I told a friend. She was like, this friend, who is no longer my friend, has a way to in a subtle manner. And because I so much value I take in my decisions then, which I've learned my lesson and I'm still going to just mention about briefly, told me then that, do you think people are going to pay? But the stubborn me did not even, because I knew that immediately as I'm increasing my price, I'm also improving my service. There was a time I didn't have structure in place. If you say you want me to manage your social media, I just say, yeah, send account number for payment, send me your login details. There is no proper onboarding process. There's nothing like agreement. There's no structure in place. So the more I get better, the more my charging goes high. And gradually I moved to 50,000 to 70,000 naira to over 100,000 naira to now making millions from social media management. But it doesn't start from me trying to figure it out. A lot of people delay their growth because they are waiting for confidence, they are waiting for certainty, they are waiting for perfect plan. There was a time that I wouldn't want to post my content online. I would be like, there are people that are more educated than me. There are people that can speak better English than I do. So what do I even want to say that will even make sense? But when I wrote my first book in 2017, when I wrote my first book in 2020, right? I started writing from 2017 actually, before I eventually published and launched my book. I discovered that, and as at then, there's nothing like online learning, online teaching. I would have to go to Google myself to learn about how to use punctuations in my writing, how to add elements of suspense in my writing. I would read and teach myself how to write. I have the storytelling in me. I know that I'm a good storyteller, but how do I put this thing into words? I had someone who would usually read my online series. Then he would tell me that I read your book today. God, that's mo ka mo di ojú kan báyìí mo pàkọ́dé níbi tójú gbà mí tì fún ẹdẹ. So maybe where I was supposed to use was, I would use is. And the so much interesting thing is that I have so much audience that didn't even see my mistake. They were always like, the next episode. But the people that would read this story, right, online, people like the volunteered editor, they saw the mistakes and everything. But what did I do? I did not stop. I continued writing and writing. It was at the point of publishing my book that I realized that, even after writing all this, my book went for through editing, right? So we did the first layer of editing. We did the second layer of editing. Then we also did the third editing layer where we are. So during this editing, some storyline change. There were my editor could tell me that you're speaking about this red jacket. What is about this red jacket? If this red jacket is taking so much time and there's no relevance to it in this story, think about removing it or add something. Okay, you spoke about this person from this duration realistically. So there were so many changes before we now move to the grammar and everything, and there was line editing. So, the story didn't come out like that. It passed through different phases. Imagine me was thinking that the way I wrote it was the way it was going to be published, and it made me. I was thinking that my writing was not perfect, right? But because I did not give up, I pushed through. I was able to write my first book. And it was through my first book I made my first million. And now, and I was very happy because the first lady of Ekiti State came to my book launch. It was during COVID-19 there. It took place on WhatsApp. I had people, prominent people from Ekiti, courtesy of my husband.
Share the title so we can go get it.
Yeah, okay, the title. A Wait in the Rain. A Wait in the Rain. I've written another book after that, yes. Okay, so I can let you know you're going to get it. You can send me a message. I can actually send you some copies.
Okay.
So after this, so if you're waiting for,
thank you.
if you're delaying your growth because you're waiting for that perfect plan, you are just going to be where you are. Reality comes from movement. See, if you don't start, you won't even know how everything is going to turn out. The more you start, you can be inspired to start something. Just start it. The more you start, the more you start seeing, you're going to start getting more inspiration about the other directions, how you can make this thing better, but you still have to start. Clarity comes from movement. So, and then resilience is not about, you not feeling tired or unsure. It's about you continuing even when those moments that you feel like you're not present. And I'll give you an example for this one. On LinkedIn, there are days that if LinkedIners are very engrossed with numbers, with impression and everything. For me, it doesn't work that way. I just want to be consistent. I want to show up every day, because when the opportunity comes, the opportunity might not come from LinkedIn. LinkedIn is just going to give me that credibility. But when somebody sees you show up on LinkedIn, not last 3 days, not last 4 weeks, not last 2 days, but last 12 hours, last 7 hours, it tells them something, that you are here, that you are present, that you are consistent. So even if anybody wants to reach out to you, they know that if they send you a message, you are going to respond to them very fast. So don't let your current reality define your future. When I came to LinkedIn in 2024, September 28, 2024, I was going through hard moments. I was panicking and everything. I was looking for something that is very, very hard. Yeah, I was looking for something very, very, very hard. What I found very, very hard then was LinkedIn. I did not understand anything about LinkedIn. But what I understand is that I understand the game of visibility on social media. I know how you can grow on social media. And I understand my craft as a social media manager. So I said, okay, I don't care if I take 1 year to get 1,000 followers on LinkedIn. I'm going to show up. I started showing up, posting. My standard is 3 times per day, right? I said this everywhere. Sometimes I post 5 times in a day. I'm telling you, sometimes I post 5 times in a day. To the extent that some people found it annoying, right? But when you come to LinkedIn in the morning, you see my post, in the afternoon you see my post, in the evening. Sometimes I will even post 5 times. Then I was not looking for number. I was looking for awareness. And how are you going to get that awareness? It's by people seeing you over and over again on their screen. It's going to be annoying at first, yes, but I can assure you, by the time they see you for like 21 times, they'll just be like, let me even check what this person is posting. Is it only her? When they see you and they know that, and they see that you are posting sense, they are going to be attracted to you in one way or the other. And that was how I built my LinkedIn visibility, that I got to, like, I don't even know, I'm at 32 followers now, in less than how many, 2024, 25, that's less than 2 years on LinkedIn, right? So with consistent intention and faith, because in everything we have to pray, your life is going to look completely different in different ways. LinkedIn gave me that platform it connected me to my ideal clients, because it was when I would define my client and say, these are the kind of people I want to be speaking to now. These people are not on Facebook, they are not on Instagram, they are on LinkedIn. I had to come to LinkedIn. And the final thing I'm going to say, don't seek anybody's validation, don't seek nobody's validation, including me. So because you want to start something, like, you start asking your friend. You want to start video content, you're asking your friend that have never in their life posted on social media. What do you think they're going to tell you?
You wanted to say something about that your friend. Sorry for the cutting. You wanted to say something about that your friend, the lesson you learned.
That's where I'm saying. That's where I'm actually coming. Because I used to be someone, even though I don't care about what people say, but I found myself still seeking some people's validation. Now when they say something about what I want to do, the moment I broke free from the shackle of their validation, everything changed. So because my friend does not like taking pictures now, I would feel like, oh, Kiniko. So I will not be planning. Imagine planning vacation with somebody that doesn't like to take pictures. It doesn't work, because if I go for vacation, am I there for what? Even if I'm not posting all these pictures online, I want to create memories and have them on my phone, right? So don't seek anybody's validation. Don't seek people's validation. People will advise you from a place of fear, their own fear, their own mistakes. It doesn't matter if they failed at it. It doesn't mean you are going to fail. But what if you try and you failed? You failed. You've learned something. You would have learned a lesson. And who says you are going to fail? What if it worked out? So if you want to start anything, just go ahead and do it. Don't wait until you have a laptop. I did have laptop for years, and I was making money from social media until I got my laptop maybe in 2021. My first laptop. Just start now. Start with what you have. Start where you are. You can also start with one platform at a time. Just decide, where do I want. When I started on LinkedIn, because I know Facebook very well. Very, very well. I understand Facebook very well. I understand Instagram. I did not understand anything about LinkedIn. So I focused on LinkedIn. And even when it seems like things are not working on LinkedIn, instead of me to go out, I double down. That's when you will not see me posting 2 times a day. Maybe I'm out of job for a while. When I resumed LinkedIn January 2026, I scheduled my posts February to April 2 times a day. I scheduled everything in January. So there is no way you will not see me show up on yours, except for Saturdays and Sundays. 5 a.m. once a day. Monday to Friday 2 times, 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. But now I've shifted it to 5:15 a.m. every day. So sometimes I push my content forward. If I have new ideas, I'll push the already scheduled one. I'll push it to June or July based on the time and duration. So the thing is that whatever platform you are focusing on, just focus on that platform. Don't first go in with the mind of wanting to make money in the next 3 months or 4 months. Know that you are building something. You are building. If I tell people, even if you build your personal brand to an extent, even if you don't make money from it or anything, your name can move door. You can move door. So people can leverage on your name and say, okay, do you know this person? Please, this person sent me to you. You are going to build a strong personal brand that people will find irresistible. And that can unlock many opportunities for you. So don't even look. I have executives that I am done managing their social media, their LinkedIn account. They are not looking for jobs on LinkedIn. They just want to share, the things that they've known from their years of experience and inspire generation and build their personal brand, so that when they retire, they also have something to fall back on, right? So basically, that's what I'm going to say. That's the lessons. I'm going to say that start with where you are, be consistent, don't seek validation from anybody. And you don't have to have everything figured out.
Thank you so very much for your response, but we are still not done with your talking. The part where you said the first lady of Ekiti State, what did she do about your book? I wanted to hear that
Oh,
testimony first.
she was the first person.
Mine.
So this was what happened. So the first lady of Ekiti State was at my book launch. My husband is my first. He's my cheerleader. So my husband has been
Mm-hmm.
in the first lady of Ekiti inbox on Twitter then, now X. He's always sending me my write-up, saying, no, my wife wrote this, my wife wrote that. And she's somebody that is very passionate about girl child. So when we're planning the book launch and we're sending out invitation, my husband keeps sending her invitation over and over again on Twitter until one day she responded to him. And then she said she was going to come to my book launch. And she came. We didn't even expect that she was going to say something. And she actually made a speech and talked about how my husband has been in his DM, in her DM. Right? She was the first person to launch my book. She launched my book a day before my book launch. We also had what's it called? Some senators and House of Representative member from Ekiti State at the book launch as well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, it was really nice hearing.
Okay, thank you very much. In fact, I've been so amazed, and I was just reminiscing on some things because it is well. So it was so amazing. Thank you so much, ma. Yeah. So when you made mention of social media, and then while you were talking, I remember that there are times that I've gone to social media and whenever I'm scrolling through people's posts and I see a particular content and I'm like, I know someone that does this thing like this. And then I try to compare the one I just saw, and then I compare it to the person that I know that have been doing that thing since, and I see that it is so similar to the extent that, and it is so obvious that the person that I just saw the video, the person is trying to copy that person. And I've seen that I've encountered that thing different times, to the extent that at times it is so annoying. I'm like, Jesus, why can't you just is it that you don't have any creativity in mind or something? But then I've seen that it has become a trend amidst our youth. Not all, but then amidst a lot of our youth that, like now, I don't want to mention this popular celebrity. When she started, she was known for this thing. And before I knew it, I went on social media, I was saying like 10 people, Aba, Kiniko, Nubu, Kiniko. And I was like, what's going on exactly? So, and then I came to a conclusion that after times of ruminating, that what could be the cause? Because I'm someone that I like analyzing things a lot. At least when something happens, I'll be like, what must have caused this thing? And then I came to a conclusion that it must have been that they just want to create content. And then in a bit of creating content, they forget that originality is the key. Never lose your voice, your brand because of because of anyone, but they don't know that. So the thing is that how can they maintain originality in creating content? How can they not be distracted that, because I want to blow, so I have to copy this person? How can they maintain that originality?
The thing is, first and foremost, this is very common and it happens everywhere. And for example, take a look at Hilda Baci when she broke the Guinness World Record. Now Nigeria want to tear the record. Everybody is breaking record. So people are very lazy when it comes to creativity. But what I tell people is, I've encountered this over and over again. It has happened to me. I've seen people. So let me tell you, on LinkedIn, there is this thing I saw on LinkedIn, I created. As somebody who is very creative, when I came to LinkedIn, I brought something, I call it Spotlight, Visibility Spotlight. I swear to God, I have never ever seen that idea again. Because I've never seen that idea before, right? But because one of my this thing there was to my goal was community engagement and to build an online community. You're going to do that by making your audience feel sane, and so I spotlight them. And so This also makes them engage my post. And not only that, I designed that as visibility spotlight, I also designed a graphics for it. And before you know it, everybody started doing visibility spotlight, visibility spotlight. I said it was not enough. I saw this lady copied my content idea, copied. See, what she did was she actually copied my content, gave it to maybe AI and edited it. She then copied my flyer, design for design. The only thing is that her design was whack. I had to tell her, she now tagged me that I inspired her. I said, excuse me, this is not inspired, this is you copying me. I did not take it lightly, and I don't find this funny, and I don't see this as an inspiration. This is not you being inspired by what I do. This is you copying me word for words. He had to take down the post. So we have a lot of people that are just lazy. Number one, it comes from three things, right? We have people that lack of clarity. They don't know what they want to be known for. So instead of creating from a place of identity, they just borrow from people who already look established. They just pick. Number two, fear of being wrong or the fear of being unseen. Let me tell you, originality feels risky, and copying others because you've seen what has already worked for them feels very safe. You know, people don't want to be authentic online. They don't, and I'm saying that being authentic does not mean that you're just going to like be saying, oh, this is the way I love to say things, and I'll just say it like that, say it myself. No. If you're trying to grow yourself physically, then you are going to try to apply that online. But people don't want to be seen. They be like, oh, I have this. I'm not the type of that. I'm not that kind of person. But I like the way Tomike does. So let me borrow that character. And the third thing is overconsumption without reflecting. They are constantly taking in content, but not taking their time to process their own thoughts. So when it's time to post, everything they've seen, they will just produce the content. It's very, very annoying, and I understand. And so people are very lazy, they are copycats online. But one thing is that people know originality when they see people that are original. In fact, they are going to know that this person is copying this person. So I call them pace setter. Pace setter don't panic when they are being copied. They just change their direction. They just get new ideas, get new inspiration. You can't say you're not going to start because somebody is copying you. Because don't let us lie. Don't let us steal. There is no new idea. No idea is new. Even when I said I've never seen that spotlight anywhere before, it doesn't mean that it has not happened before. I just have never come across it before. There is no new idea. When you are doing your project, you need to go and check the project of other people and check how they did it, and then use that one to work on. Then you are going. So the annoying part most of the time is they don't even give credit to the people that you are copying from. So people struggle to create their own idea, because original content does not come from trends. So it comes from thinking. It requires you to slow down. It requires you to observe your own experience and to form your own perspective. It also requires a certain level of self-awareness. If your content is going to feel different, going to feel valuable, you need to be self-aware to know the kind of content that you want to create and what you are building for yourself. So a lot of people just rush to be visible, but they don't take time to understand what they actually believe in. So their content comes from a place of other people's voice, like they're echoing what people are already saying. Is not their new, it's not them. They are not the ones speaking. It just feels like a repetition. There is a man called Jude Idada. He writes very well on Facebook. If I see Jude content without seeing his weak nature, I know that, oh, Jude wrote this post. And at the end of the day, I am always right that, okay, this is Jude Idada's post. Even if somebody else posted it, so I'll be like, this person copied Jude Idada's post. But when I read it and person says, oh, written by Jude Idada, then I know that. So because this is his what's it called? His style of writing. Everybody has he's been doing this over and over again. We've seen it. So we know that if anybody is writing like Jude, and I'm not even talking about the way he narrates his story, I'm even talking about his formatting style. Two lines breaking it kind of relates to the way we write on LinkedIn, right? But the only place I've seen that on Facebook is from Judy Dada when he's writing his story. So if you want to maintain originality and creativity, number one, you are going to build from your own life, not from the internet. Your experiences, your journey, your lesson. I used to say something that if we take 10 writers and we tell them that these 10 writers write about what's it called? Write about polygyny, for example. They are going to write about polygyny, right? But this they will come up with different storyline. And you're going to be wondering, this person write about polygyny, about polygyny. I'm talking about creative writing now. And they will arrive at the same thing. That's the thing. But the storyline will be different. And that's what we call originality. We can have different lifestyle curator and everything, but the way they are going to show up online is going to be different, because your journey, your lessons, your life experiences, your background, your belief, these are the things that shapes who we are. We are not one in a million kind of people. We are one in a lifetime kind of people. You can say, oh, I know somebody that sounds like Doyin, that talks like Doyin, but that person is not Doyin. That person can never be me, and I can never be. There is no two persons like me in this world. I am the only version of myself in this entire universe.
Yes.
What I'm going to bring and the things I'm going to do has to be unique with me. You have to experience me like, so I operate in high energy with on high energy rather, and I can feel people's energy. So I understand that you can experience people. I don't know how to put it, but I can experience you as a person, as you are like this. The way you send me a message, the way we are here on this podcast, I'm already experiencing you, and I can say a bit about who you are. You can be around someone and you feel stiff. You feel like, oh, I don't like this person's aura. If I want to work with a client, I can know if this client is going to be a difficult client, if this client is not difficult but they lack structure, if this client does not know what they want, if this client lacks self-awareness, if this client is going to push my boundaries, I would know. So just knowing all these things is going to shape how I'm going to relate with them. So when you build from your life experiences, you build from your journey, your life lessons, these are things nobody can replicate exactly. Even if two people talk about the same topic, their perspective do not always sound the same. Number two, you're going to create more than you consume. If all you do is scroll, your mind becomes crowded by other people's voice. You just be here. There are some decisions that we make, some things that we say that is not our voice. Even our children. If my son comes to tell me something, I can tell that this is the voice of your sister. Or if it's my son, I'll say that you better send you to come and ask me. You know that if you have a lot of people's voices in your head, you think that you are creating from a place of awareness, but you will not know that no, you are not creating from yourself. You are creating from the things that you have seen, not what you yourself have experienced and what you have passed through. We can have the same story. We can say, I went through hardship in life. Oh God, I was, but our story is going to be different. I'll give you an example. People, there is a way that we glorify poverty in this part of this world. There are people that had good childhood. They have nothing to say about my daddy left me, my father left me. They find it difficult to share their stories online because they are thinking that your story must always be from grass to grace. Meanwhile, people need the voices of people that they need the voices of people that didn't even pass through any grass or anything. We need them. It is okay for them to also share their perspective. You didn't know what it feels like entering down for. Please share with us. Let us know. You don't need to shrink yourself because you want to sound cool. You want to be palatable to someone. Like I always say, I say that if you listen to me, you already know that I am from Yoruba, and if you understand this age factor, you know that I am from Ibadan. And I used to say that intentionally, I want to speak and have my accent, come out. I want to be anywhere in the world, and I speak, and people say, "Oh, are you from Nigeria? Are you from Yoruba tribe? You must be from Ibadan." Oh my goodness, I love it. Anything that has to do with Ibadan like this, you are going to see me there. This is my own belief, and it doesn't mean that people that want to sound British, especially those that really, really understand this accent, should feel somehow about their decision. Whatever decision that you have made, you need to be confident in that decision. You have made for yourself. You need to be confident in it, and you know that for every decision, for every action, there is a consequence. Sometimes maybe this accent might stop me from getting something. I have made this decision. I need to sit with it, because there will be other days, even severally, that is going to open doors for me. Maybe this decision of you wanting, and people are going to say your own is too much. You have to sit with it. Let them say your own is too much. If that is what you truly want for yourself, you are making that decision from a place of awareness, not by following the crowd. You know what you want and why you want it. So what you are going to do is not that you are copying anybody. You are doing what you want to do actually. So you are going to reduce your input and increase your output, even if it feels messy at first. The third one is learn to pause and process. Ask yourself before you post, what do I think about this? What experience do I have around this? The reason people say that LinkedIn content looks same, number one, is because there is the way you write on Facebook is not the way you write on LinkedIn. You have to format your writing on LinkedIn. We break lines. Sometimes we can start our sentence with "and." Things like that on LinkedIn is because that's the way you write on LinkedIn. Then you just have to break the paragraphs. I made that mistake when I started on LinkedIn. It was a friend that called me to attention. The way you write on LinkedIn, people will not read though. And I saw that, okay. So there is this lady called Lara Costa. She shared 30 days LinkedIn writing template, and I followed it, and it really helped me for my LinkedIn. And that was how I really understand how to write on LinkedIn. So now, aside that we have a way that we write on LinkedIn. Number two, people copy people a lot on LinkedIn, and because they know that the content that do well on LinkedIn is the content of celebration. Everybody wants to celebrate something. Fine, it's good to celebrate. And me, as somebody that understands content very well, please, there's nothing I cannot write content about. There's absolutely nothing I cannot turn into content writing, and it will make sense, and I will tie it to what I'm doing. But now, it's not about you celebrating. But why would you make those kind of content your everyday content? So the content lacks depth. It lacks value. So they don't even know who are they creating this content for. They don't know the difference between network and your ideal audience. Your network can be telling you, "Oh, congratulations, thank you," but those people that are commenting on your post, they are not the one that has your buying capacity. They will not buy from you. They will not patronize you. The people that will patronize you, they are silently watching you. If they see that you don't even know what you are doing, they will move to the next person, because you're not the only one that is there. And number four is accept that your voice will evolve. A lot of people copy because they think that their version must be perfect. It's just like writing. If your first draft is going to be messy, but you are going to look at it, okay, continue paragraph 4, you only can basically first paragraph. Let me shift my first paragraph to third paragraph. Let me add to this, let me add to this. That's your second draft. Then the third draft, you want to look at your tenses and everything. Then the fourth draft, you want to look at your punctuations and everything. Then the fifth draft. Sometimes when I'm writing content, especially when it's personal experience, I kid you not, I could spend 2 weeks writing a post. So there was a time I wrote a post about Ibadan. on Facebook, I had over 1,000 shares. I can't even remember. A lot of people just copied that post and did not give me the credit. I was just like, that's how they do. It's very common. We have experienced it a lot. So I just left it for them. Like, see, I don't even have the energy. But I was paid because I knew the amount of days. My daddy told me that story. I had to type it out, edit and write. I knew the amount of days I would take to write content. It's not easy. If not that, okay, you've been writing content over and over again. Now you can write content, but there are still certain content that you have to do your research. You have to know what you are saying, because you know that there are people that will read your line. They will tell you that is a lie. What you quoted here is wrong. So you need
Yes.
to fact right. Even these people that will tell you that what you quoted here is wrong, there are people that they've never engaged your content before, but once they spot that mistake, they will just bring it out. So you need to accept your voice, that your voice is going to evolve, that your voice is not going to be perfect, but it will get clearer over time. The more you write, the more you get better. Same way with like speaking, engagement and everything. The more you speak, the more you get better. So number 5 is focus on clarity, not performance. When you are trying to sound impressive, you will likely try to sound like someone else. There was a time that I was telling someone, we're having conversation, not even a podcast or anything. So I told her that I struggle with that, with speaking, and she was like, she was like, I don't understand what you mean by you struggle with speaking. But if the way you've been talking, that we've been conversing since morning, is the way you talk, actually, you don't struggle with speaking. She said, it is because people have made it look like we must sound perfect. That have I listened to Chimamanda? Do I see the way she talks? You don't need to sound like anybody else, right? You don't need to sound perfect, because your experience is going to be different. Just sound the way you are. You will just be surprised that some people will even come to tell you that they like the way you speak. And you are still somewhere saying that you don't like the way you speak. But are you going to wait for their validation, for their applause before you start? You have to start. If you don't even start, how would they even know that, oh, maybe you speak well or you don't speak well? If you don't start, you wouldn't even know what you can do and what you cannot do. If you don't start, you won't know how far you can go. So we just focus on clarity. Don't try to sound like somebody else. Don't try to write like your favorite writer. Don't try, just be yourself. When you focus on being clear, you are going to sound like yourself. So what I'm going to say to close this is, originality is what will set you apart. When you are building visibility, being authentic with yourself, that people even notice your authenticity. And this originality is not about saying something no one has ever said before. No one has ever said before. It's not about doing something no one has ever done before. It's about saying it from a place of honestly yours. A place that is honestly yours. Or doing it from a place that it is honestly yours. It is you, your experience. Nobody can share the same experience as you, and it can never be the same anywhere in the world, right? So even if somebody, for example, I should say, oh, yesterday let me just say that yesterday when I was going out, I fell into a pit and I got drained. And then you also said you had the same experience. But yours is most likely not yesterday. If it was yesterday, it was not that exact place I experienced mine. We were not wearing the same clothes. The damage is different. It was not the same area. So the experience is still going to be different. So what we are going to say about it is still going to be different in a kind of way. So just when you are creating content and your focus is you don't want to copy other people, just be original with your content and create from a place of clarity. Thank you.
Thank you so very much for the responses so far, for for the good responses, for the honest responses. I really do appreciate. I feel like I feel like before I release this recording, it should be a paid section. Like you actually unleashed a lot. We said this episode is against all odds, and we are even entering LinkedIn optimization already. Just free of charge like that. You're able to share a lot, like a lot that me myself did not know. And I know that anybody that is seeing this, anybody that is watching this will know that, oh, this episode is of a high value content. Wow, I really do dedicate my time for something important. I know that this will be one of those responses that we get for this episode because it's really a lot. Like it is what is happening to us, it is what you are seeing yourself, it is what you are thinking that okay, how can I improve on this? Is it about the kind of friend that you said that you talked about the validation, about you not considering anybody's validation before going into anything in life? Just know that it is okay to fail. It is not okay to just like, okay, I want to go through the lift, I'm not passing through the stairs. It's possible to go through the lift, but it's actually advisable to go through the stairs. You experience what is in it, what is behind it, why are you fearing, why do you think you wouldn't want to fail? Although it is easier said than done, but we just have to face through our fears. We have to what? We have to just like, okay, let me do this and then do it and see what will come after it. Then you talk about the odds of life whereby you were able to pass through it through your determination and your consistency and through a supportive husband and through a supportive family. You've actually opened doors for people on this path, because I pray we all have a supportive family that will help us in our growth in life, because this is a big one. And for the LinkedIn optimization that you gave us for free of charge, we do appreciate it, because it actually happens to me. And through my videos, sometimes I'll be like, okay, let me check the one of YouTube videos, maybe I can learn from it. And some of those things that I do see, I will see some people like, they'll be like, okay, if you go to this person, they will go to LinkedIn video content, they will go to that creator's content, then after that they will say, okay, copy that link and then paste it to your own. Don't worry, your video will start growing, to the extent that this person that is doing the video of you copying another person's content, the person will later still come back again that, oh, my YouTube video, it has been banned, it has been doing this. I love your point where you said, once you know that this thing, do what is working for you, know the right, be true to yourself. Once I see this video and I was like, even if I'm eager to like go, I would say no, because I think this is actually not right. Because why would you go to somebody's content and then later delete it? You want to use that person's content to grow, just in the name of you want to go viral as well, because your content isn't growing. And those people will now click on it because of that particular video, and you're not sharing another videos that is not related to the video that it is trending. So do you expect those viewers to be increasing like the previous video that it was increased? No, it is not possible. The reason why they clicked on it is because of what they see in it. Now you changing your direction, it is not telling them, oh, that is not organic followers. So we don't want to wait. We want to go to we don't want to go to Surulere, we want to go to Olorunshogo, as my Yoruba people will say.
I said they don't want delayed gratification. They just want to have everything.
Exactly. Wanted it. Like I said it is the consistency, because there was a time I had a time on LinkedIn. I'll be like, this thing is not working for me. But I'll be seeing your green signature. You with your with your hijab. You're always posting different content, and it is, but I did not know that this is the secret. These are your secrets that is behind it, that you do post maybe like 3 times or even 5 times. Like and you watching this video, it's not as if you should just like sit one day and just say, I want to start posting on LinkedIn 5 times. No, it doesn't work like that. She has her strategies in writing. You also can hear that sometimes she used 2 weeks in writing. That is how far she wants to take our content. So that is how strong the determination is. And we all pray that it should be happening to us, because if you don't have this strong determination, you want to be like, okay, once I post this, I just want it to blow up like that. No, it doesn't happen. It's like, let's learn some valuable things from those that have already grown in it. And you shouldn't be like you want to copy from them. Use your own story. Own up to your own story. Rewrite your story. You can use their knowledge, as you said earlier, that if you want to like learn from this person, yes, you can act like the person, but you can never be the person. That is just it. Your name might be the same thing with the person and your son, but what of your third name? There will be something that will be different between you people. So own up to your story and be true to yourself. Then you don't need anybody's validation in order to rise against all odds. You are saying you are experiencing odds in this particular thing, you are experiencing another odds in this particular thing. Have you asked yourself if you have been true to yourself? Have you asked yourself if you needed somebody's validation? Which is no, you don't need anybody's validation. Just do it. Start anyway, start anyhow. Thank you so much for being here, for sharing your insights and experiences. I love the fact that we are able to call you and you into our response, and you share your journey from being a small social media strategist to a bigger one, and to now an author. Wow, that is that is so very good. I hope someone can learn from this. So we've actually come to the end of this episode, Against All Odds. The recorded video will be uploaded on our YouTube channel, which is T to the S to the W to the H on YouTube. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, because we are coming with more content, more valuable, more thought-provoking content on this podcast. Bye for now.